All right, so AR Walmart minimum wage. It's a minimum effort log, Sarge, I think, on the system because we're going to keep with it before I hit the other subject. I was going through my material and posting, and I thought of a piggyback on that. Now, I often use the conveyor belt, not necessarily because the conveyor belt acts like a saw. I can program what goes through it, how to bag a system, how to separate, how to grade off of that system, see an easy spectrum of gears, serviceability. Maintenance team comes by once a month on the turnkey because I chose to make that machine in this form do a unitasker to the desk or Walmart or whatever variable in the AI matrix says business has got to have that. And at certain quantum operations, depending on the numbers of that thing, we factor those to the inversion of what type of company you have, what type of product goes on the shelf, and why, to sales on systems based on the average. I'm sure there's some one-off product in a general or a machine, but here at the note of Walmart, we're running the system here to bury it, to say, now that you know that, that's going to be a parallel system to whatever conveyor belt this is. Here you're standing on it, and we're moving on Earth on day-night cycles. If you just do things there, I forget who says it, Jordan Patterson. Your house will go to hell. That index on entropy got loose on you, and that's the wobbles. And so it could have been a second there, but take 6 years later. But you could go long on the index, and it doesn't matter for a certain function. And really determining those indexes and cost ratio pressure systems inside of there are the mechanics in the conveyor belt at the desk, or even the self checkout. You could easily turn the index on a Y, XY, Lego versus CERN to describe FMA physics. People come in 12888. And so we're talking about minimum wage here on the system. Once I had a person, I found them as a category of a person, and it is a person. It's what is it, a microaggression on it? Fuck you. And there, this is what I determine physics to be: vector position. Now, I want to hear you, R. Sharps. That's right, you played that in Marshmallow's Treasure Chest. You're bumming a physics experiment later about Roe v. Wade cases and the Board of Education on FMA math. That's me. I'm for the little screaming gorilla in the tree over the river next to a waterfall, as long as we have some goddamn rules in that area about how physics works and just normal operations, right? There would be a pressure conversation of this, and I wouldn't have to worry about things or why things got sideways on it when I look at you in the face and say, what happened? That's where the standard model, I don't have a guy does it. They're doing their thing. I can throw the stock model at them, and they're making little money out there. It's a good index. It's a average margin on a thing, on systems of tell me where the sun starts in its core out here at its atmospheric location on the geodesics of the XYZ of its position, and you sitting on it. What's the sun? What's the atmosphere? It's the magnetosphere. The difference in electromagnetism and gravity. The weak force and the strong force there would be electricity and magnetism would share a similarity that in the IH field they are one. They are close to one, they are close to zero. Right now you got this many kids standing in the stall mill. That's where it clocked in. You got to think about all the factors on a thing. You can double down in those things, take on a military base from there. That's true. But you got to think about things and numbers on situations and do things. So that's Walmart. That's that's gonna be your No Crabby Island. That's how I train the Stanford Force Bar at that, because just at the water cooler, man, trebuchet. You could be a snowflake wrapped in bubble wrap and eggshells, and you can become a weapon in that form if you understand the index. It's what's minimum wage in here? What's the stick over at the military? I have to have gravity of boot camp. Learn this, train this, common averages over time, stabilize it regardless of if you had a quantum physicist rotation. We start people here. Walmart generally pretty good. I think they start them above the minimum, below the upper, and in there that references this is how our training model works. If I run this on you as a manager next to you and this starts to seem unfamiliar, or you don't know how to factor a certain answer in the terms of the words of how it functions in the code, we got issues.